Hey guys, John here again from incomesh.com, and we're continuing on with our Tutor LMS tutorial. What we want to do here is show you how your students can be supported and how they can be successful in your courses. So the first and most obvious way that people need support is if they're going, I gotta get off that turtle. Where they're going through your course and they have a question, you need a very easy process to collect those questions, organize them, and answer them effectively. And luckily, Tutor has you covered. So within the course area, as they're taking their lessons, if they have a question, they just need to look over to the left, and they have this toggle between the lesson list and the Q&A forum, and they can ask a quick question. So I'm just going to ask, why are John's eyes so big? So you can ask any questions, you can add links, you can even add some HTML into this question or answer, and you can go ahead and say, thanks in advance. And this is huge. Like, you want this process to be super simple, because if it's not, you know what they're going to do? They're going to pull up their email and they're going to email you, or they're going to go to Facebook Messenger and they're going to messenger chat you, or they're going to bother you. And I love people. People are great, but it's really hard to run a business when you don't even know where to go to support your students. So having a solid solution here is very, very necessary. So here you can see as soon as the question was asked, you can browse all the questions here within the lesson. So that helps. If there's a mistake in your lesson, for example, it's okay. People can ask a question about it, and then you can clarify it. And if it's just a small little thing, that may be sufficient. And you may not need to go and re-record the entire video to fix that one little blooper. So then, as far as once the question is asked, you can come back here into Tutor LMS, and under the Q&A section, you'll have this red little number counter of how many questions are there that need to be answered. So you can come through and review them, and we'll just go ahead and click into this question here. And you can see what the question is that was asked, thanks in advance, and you can easily support your students this way. So you can add a quick little answer here and place the answer, and what happens when you do that is the Q&A bubble has gone down, so you've kind of handled your support inbox, you've kind of taken care of what you need to. And on the user side, when they come back in again, they'll be able to see the Q&A, the answers here very simply. So it's everything you need and nothing you don't. What is great about this, I want to mention, is we're here logged in as an administrator, so we can see all the questions across the board. But imagine when you have 20 instructors and 100 courses on your blog or on your website, this is organized so that instructors can only see the questions for their own courses. So it's very easy, very scalable. You can bring on more instructors, and it's an intuitive process step by step. So that's covering the Q&A, but that's only half of how you can really make sure your students are successful. The other half of that is checking their learning as they're going through the process. And we do that through quizzes in Tutor LMS. So the way you'd set up a quiz is pretty simple. It's as simple as everything else that you've done here so far. Back in the course builder in Tutor, you'll be able to add new lessons or new quizzes. So we'll go ahead and click on the add topic quiz. And this is kind of like, it's pretty standard in the e-learning space where you'll have maybe a topic of 3 lessons and then a quiz. And you pass that quiz and you move on to the next topic. So it's kind of like those little checkpoints to make sure you're still on track. So here, like everything else, it's pretty straightforward. You can add your quiz title. We'll just say end of section 1 quiz. And you can add additional descriptions as well, but we'll just go ahead and say save and next. And here's where it's really fun. Adding questions in Tutor LMS is pretty intuitive and pretty fun, where you can ask your question. And under question type, this is where it's like, what? They give you a lot of different options on how you can ask your questions. True, false, single choice, multiple choice, those are all pretty standard, but they really go above and beyond with the open-ended and essay questions. I don't know about you, but I don't want to be grading essays, but it's there for the certain type of customer. Fill in the blank, short answer, matching, image matching, which is pretty fun. Do you remember like the DMV when you're getting your license and you're like matching which traffic sign works for which, anyways, image answering and ordering. So really, really good. Depending on the question you have, one of these is going to meet your needs. So we'll say it's a single choice question. You can randomize the questions as well, or the order of how things show up. And we'll say the answer is required. And you can set a different number of points for questions. And now here for the answers, you can give an answer here. So the question I asked was, what's the best feature of Tutor LMS? I'm going to put out a couple different options. So I'll say WooCommerce integration. I'll also add easy course creation. And on this one, I want to go ahead and add an image for this answer choice. So I'll add that image in, and then I'll add one more. And we'll call this one, it just looks pretty. Because it does. And we'll give that one just a regular answer. So you've given 3 different answer choices for the this quiz question. And all you have to do to tell it what the correct answer is just check that little box. And that's kind of the legend, the rubric, and it will grade automatically based on what you say there. So we'll save and continue. This question is completed. And now we're going to go ahead and go back from our quiz. And we have our question here selected. And we can take a look at our other settings here and see if you want to have a time limit for the quiz, or you want to hide the quiz time limit. This brings you back to school, right? Like, this is a real learning management platform. A lot of what people are doing with online tools these days, like, Thrive Apprentice, for example, is it doesn't mess around with all the quiz stuff, because for entrepreneurs, we're not going to take it, right? Like, our time is so valuable. We just want to get the knowledge and move on. But this is set up for really building out a learning academy where there might be accreditation at some point. There might be certificates that show your completion. And you might want to get funded by your company to take a course on your website and show that certificate back to your boss with your grading scale and all that good stuff. So you have to think about this business model in a different way than we have in some of the other tools that are out there today. Go ahead and save this. And we'll get out of it. All right, so let's go ahead and just hit update just in case. And we will go back in and take that quiz to show you how it all kind of shakes out. All right, I'm back here on my quiz, or on my course from my new student. And now I can see the end of section 1 quiz, and I can take it. And now it gives you exactly what you need. It shows you how many attempts you have and what you need to pass the test. I'll start the quiz. And here we go. So what is the best feature of Tutor LMS you've seen so far? You can say WooCommerce integration, easy course creation, or it just looks pretty. And you can see how the images work. So it would probably make sense to choose all images or no images for setting up quizzes. I'll go ahead and pass the quiz because I am a completionist. And it'll show you the questions, how many points you got, and what your result was basically. So this is all well and good. And if you're using the premium version, you'll be able to create certificates for showing the records of all these quizzes being completed and what score was achieved on each one. All right, so that's it for supporting your students throughout the courses. Very, very easy to do from a student perspective, very easy to set up and manage from an instructor perspective. But what's more important than just supporting your students is also supporting the business. So what I want to cover in the next video in this series is how you can sell your courses and make money using the free WooCommerce integration. We'll cover that in the next video.